Hey mamas. So I am getting ready. I'm heading over to my sister's house and we are going to hang out with her and her little guy, and we are going to talk swaddles. I know, it's very exciting, but let me tell you, she has, I don't know, 5, 10 different kinds of swaddles for all kinds of different reasons. So we're going to talk about which swaddle, why, when, how it works, why is it important, and she's the expert. So we're going to head over there in just a sec. Hey guys, I'm Christina, my sister Kathleen.
Hello.
And little Everett. We are going to talk swaddles and all kinds of fun things to put babies to bed and transition them. And what worked? Yes. What worked for Everett or didn't work. Might work for you, might not work. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Say hi, guys. Yo. All right, we're gonna first take a look at this one called the ZIGGY Baby and another brand called the what is that?
Baby Goods.
Baby Goods. Here we go. Okay.
This was his first swaddle, and it's important to swaddle your baby in the beginning, especially because they have these reflexes that will startle them awake, and they'll be like, ha, and hit themselves in the face and wake up, and then you don't get any sleep. So the way that this particular swaddle works is you tuck their legs in. He's a little big for it now. You pull the arm down, and you want it to be snug, snugger than you think. Look, it doesn't even fit him. Maybe this one will fit him, but you pull it over. That's why we needed to get him out of the swaddle, because he escaped.
Did you escape?
You escaped. Here, let's do this other one. It's bigger. So, put their feet in. Tuck them in nice and high. Yeah. You want to tuck their arms in nice and tight. So I hold down one arm, pull this over, tuck this other arm in, and then pull this, tuck that side in, and then pull over nice and snug. You want it to be snugger than you think, but you want to have at least 2 fingers be able to fit in. So the reason for this is because it'll keep them on their back and it'll prevent their startle reflexes. But the reason we had to get him out of this was because he was escaping. So what he would do would be like his fingers would pop out of here, or his feet would completely come out like this. And I'd go look at him in his crib and he's like, look, Mom, look what I did. So that's when we had to start transitioning him out of this kind of swaddle.
And we're out.
Freedom. Okay, so this swaddle's kind of crazy. It's called ERGOBABY, or ERGOBABY, E-R-G-O. My sister-in-law, her son loved this swaddle. Everett wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's like a weird device, torture device here, but babies sleep in it. So the way it works, let's try Everett. Let's try it. The way it works, so you tuck them in, like it's, he's gonna be way too big for this. Put their feet in, dear. Yeah. You tuck the arms in these little armholes. And then you wrap left, right, and it like all sticks together. So their arms are crossed over their chest rather than at their side. But again, he's a little big for this. You just want to eat your hands. So that works for some babies who don't like sleeping with their arms at their side. So then the next swaddle after this would be, so if your baby likes that, they might end up liking this next swaddle, the Love to Dream Swaddle Up. And a lot of people like swear by these swaddles, and they have transition swaddles for these too. So
He's like, what's next?
the next swaddle is over here. Ba, 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 ba. Again, my son didn't like this one. See? He doesn't like it. You ready for a nap? Okay. So the way that it works is you just tuck them in here like this. It's so easy, which is nice. And their arms are up here, so they can still soothe themselves and like fit their hands in. But he did not like this. But my sister-in-law's son loved it. He'd go in it and fall asleep on his own.
So why are their hands up here?
The hands are up there because some babies like to sleep with their hands over their heads. Can you even hear me?
Yeah.
And also he can self-soothe, so he can like suck on his hands and stuff.
All right, we got the halo next.
Yes. So I picked this swaddle for Everett to transition out of like being, you know, strapped down because he likes his arms free. And this particular swaddle is good because it still stifles those reflexes. Since he is clearly ready for a nap, I'll get him ready in this one. And I like it because it's easy. He looks like kind of funny. Ready, buddy? So you just pop his arms in here like a shirt.
You were talking about something.
He's ready for a nap.
Yay! And why do you like this one better?
I like this one because his hands are free and he can move his arms around, but also it's like a little bit, it's like heavy enough that it still stifles those reflexes.
Nice.
But when he sleeps like this. So that's why all the other ones didn't work for him.
There you go. So everybody, are you going to bed? Oh. Yes. All right, so while she puts him in for a nap, I wanted to show you this one. She used this one for a while too. It's called the nested bean, and it's got this little weighted egg, I guess. So it kind of is like a hand is on the baby, a little extra weighted feeling, which feels good, and then they can still be free to move, and the arms are free, so sometimes she would use them in combination with another swaddle. So that's that.
Okay, so this one is the Zippity Zip. It's actually as seen on Shark Tank. I saw it and I was like, I gotta get that. And I like this one for his bedtime sleep, like over the nighttime. He sleeps through the night in it because it stifles those reflexes, but he can roll over in it and he can crawl in it if he needed to or wanted to. He doesn't crawl yet, but he can roll. So once he was rolling, I was like, okay, I gotta start him into a transition swaddle because it can get dangerous if his arms are at his side and he rolls over. So yeah, the Zippity Zip is great. You can see though, he chews on it and everything. So it doesn't bother me though. But yeah, so he likes this one a lot. Okay. So this one is the Halo Sleep Sack. And I liked this one because it zipped him in it rather than doing the Velcro, so he had less chance of escaping his feet, which means I get to sleep more, and he gets to sleep more. So what's also nice is you wrap him in here just like you would with the regular swaddle where their arms are down, or like that elephant one, you can have his arms up. So you just put the arms up a little higher up here so he can self-soothe. And then you can use this as a transition swaddle as well, just like any other swaddle. You just put one arm would stay sticking out. But that didn't work for Everett, my son, because he, since I had to transition him out of a swaddle pretty early, he needed something to stifle those reflexes because he'd wake himself up and whack him himself in the face if one arm was out. So if your kid's like, I think the reflexes go down around 4 months or 5 months, then that could be a good way to transition. Or you can just jump right to this kind of swaddle, which is what is this one? This is also a Halo Sleep Sack. Just arms out in here, and then it's just basically like a wearable blanket. A friend of mine, she didn't need to do a whole transition because her son really liked the swaddle at the side. And so she just popped him in this and he took right to it. And some kids don't need the transition. I knew my son did need it because. So then this is like the original way to swaddle. I used to, so my son was born and then he had to go to the NICU because he was like so cold, and couldn't get his heart rate to go down because he was so cold. So we would put him in a swaddle, and then we would swaddle him in a blanket because he just was like so cold. And so the way that you would do this is where their head would go, and you'd fold this part down. You would take part of this corner and tuck it under them really nice and snug. And then what we did was we would take the bottom portion and put that under as well. So it's all nice and tight under one side. And then I like to save the longest side for the last part, because I would wrap it all the way underneath him like this so that he wouldn't escape, because from birth he's a wiggly guy. So he would keep himself basically pinned down. And that's how you do the original swaddle.
Well, it was awesome. Thank you guys for sticking with us and learning a little bit more about all the different kinds of swaddles that are out there. I'm sure there are a ton more, but these are the ones that she's chosen, tried out. Every baby is different. Every baby sleeps differently. Maybe test out how your baby naturally sleeps without a swaddle. See if they gravitate to ones where they up or their arms out. Just give it a try. You don't know, but some swaddles are really expensive, so hopefully this gives you a little bit of information before you go out and spend $20-$30 on a swaddle. And yeah, have fun, enjoy your babies, and I hope you get some sleep.